What's up, people? We are live with the MMA Mainstream Podcast. I'm James, of course, joined by my co-host Kaelyn. Kaelyn, how you doing?
It's another Friday.
Right, thank goodness. And that's why we're here.
This week took forever, man.
It really did. And
it did. It dragged. Even
I
today.
took a personal day on Monday, and it still took forever.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was awful. Awful.
Yeah, I felt like by Wednesday, I'm like, all right, we done yet?
Yeah,
the week?
Yeah. Yesterday, I was like, oh, cool. Wait, it's not Friday?
Yeah.
So, I understand that. But you know what? We got Bellator to talk about right now because that's going to happen tonight. So let's get into it. We have, let's see here, Valentin Moldavsky versus Steve Morey. Pretty good records.
Yeah.
I would be excited
to
see.
That's interesting.
I want to see the heavyweight division more in Bellator. I mean, we have the guys that have competed in UFC, but I want to see more of them build their own stars.
Yeah, because I mean, the last one that really stands out, what was it? Ryan Bader was the heavyweight and light heavyweight for a while, right?
But he was a former UFC guy.
And
I
he
want
came
to
from
see more
UFC.
homegrown talent.
He was already established.
Exactly. All right. And then the main event on the card is Neiman Gracie versus Yamayuchi. I can't pronounce his first name, but I'm going to pronounce his last name. This is a crazy fight because when you look at it, I mean, the Gracie name.
Yeah.
And
he's pretty good.
A lot of weight, and he is good. He's 11-3, but Yamayuchi's 27-5. Damn.
He's been around.
Yeah. I
like to see any of the Gracies win. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, of course.
So I root for him. Saw him live too, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm going for him, but obviously, you know, his opponent's way more experienced, been around for a lot longer. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This one's a hard one because of the experience. I don't know. This one will be a tough one, I think, for Neiman. But what do you think on that one?
I think, you know, he's a Gracie. Like, it's in his blood that he's going to be a good fighter.
Yeah, but I think he has some knockouts, though, which is unusual.
Is crazier.
Yes.
But I would like to see him win. But I wouldn't be mad if Yamayuchi won because look at that experience.
He's supposed to win, technically, you know, on paper.
You think ideally. It's like he lives in the cage with how much experience he has.
Yeah.
But I overall would like to see Gracie win. But if Yamayuchi won, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Gracie. We'll see what happens.
And then we got a really beautiful mullet right here with Aaron Jeffrey. He's 12-3 from Canada, eh? If he came out
you always have to say the A after.
A. If he came out in the Canadian tuxedo, that would be he'd be hands down one of my favorite fighters.
Oh my god.
Do you know what a Canadian tuxedo is?
A what?
A Canadian tuxedo?
No.
It's a denim jacket and denim jeans.
Oh no.
A tuxedo all day.
Yikes.
Versus Vanderford.
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to give it to Austin because
I think they're trying. I think they're trying to make up for the last one.
Isn't it? Yeah, he's Mr. Van Zandt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think still. I don't know.
Pretty sure.
Probably.
I mean, she hasn't posted any crazy photos with him in a while. No, I don't know.
I don't watch her stuff, but I just see occasionally when she wants to fight again.
Right? There. Now I'm interested.
And I mostly just read the comments because they're entertaining. But
the comments are great.
Yeah.
All the trolls.
It's mixed with, yay, go for her. And the other one's like, she's like, some of like talking like major trash on her because she hasn't won in forever. So it's like
cool too. Hey, but she makes money, you know, go her.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for Aaron Jeffrey.
I am too. I kind of expect Vanderford to win, but I'm gonna take Jeffrey on this.
Yeah.
And you have to be badass, especially if your last name's Jeffrey, because who's really scared of Jeffrey?
2 first names.
right? And you can't trust him either. Man, and he's Canadian, so he's super nice about it. Ugh, it's all bad. And then we have a heavyweight fight. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the names. I quit on that.
Oh, wow. I've never heard of either of these guys.
I've heard of them, but I don't think I've ever really noticed them. So
definitely not. I have not kept up with Bellator at all.
Yeah, same, except for literally the main events.
Right.
And then we have a female fight.
Who is even, what is it, Bruna Ellen? Don't even know who that is.
She's from Brazil.
Yeah, but I always go for McFarlane. She's cool. I like her. I like to see her win. I'm going to go for her.
All right, and those fights are going on tonight. Right now, actually, that card is probably available to check out on Showtime. If you have it available to you, check it out. I look forward to seeing the highlights because I'm curious to see how the Gracie fight goes. That's the one I'm the most vested in. So we're going to move on. Last week, UFC had Thiago Santos versus Jamal Hill. Hill won in the 4th round at 231. I saw an interesting joke about that guy. He has 6 kids, and it's like, this guy doesn't pull out, so he's not pulling out of fights.
Oh, God.
I thought that was pretty good. Pretty classy. Jeff Neal.
I was surprised that Santos. God, man, he disappoints me sometimes, man.
It's what Santos are you going to get? Are you going to get the guy who's going to take him to task, or are you going to meh?
He was knocking everyone out left and right. Then he got injured with Jones, and then after that, it's just been kind of like.
I feel like it's like Vitor Belfort. That's what I've always felt about him, is that you have this guy who comes on real strong. He's great. He's doing awesome, and then something happens and it shakes him, and then he's wishy-washy. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. And then who knows? I don't know how old he is. He's been around for a while, so I don't know if maybe he's just, slowing down. I don't know. I'm sure after having a crazy knee injury like he did in the past, that has to affect a lot of stuff.
A little gun shy, a little hesitant.
Yeah.
And then we have Jeff Neal beating Vicente Luque. Also, and then of course Muhammad Usman, second round.
Yep.
Win. I'm not shocked by that. I was actually
that was a nice punch that he got him with there.
And that made him the Ultimate Fighter winner, correct?
Yeah, it did. So that's cool. Now Kamaru Usman had also won the Ultimate Fighter. So now we have brothers
that
have won the tournament, which is really cool.
That's an interesting nod. I like that.
Yeah.
And then we have Brogan Walker lose to Juliana Miller in 3rd.
Didn't see that one.
It happens.
Yeah.
But that was last week's fight.
That was to be honest, it was a boring fight card. I feel like
it came off as a boring fight card, but had some exciting bouts going on, especially when you have Hill winning and then Usman. It's Usman, like
yeah.
It's got to be, it's the name. It's now a brand. He has to be a phenomenal athlete, which
now he has to, and he can't ever go back.
No,
he can never have a bad fight.
Never, ever. Because then he's just getting. Honestly, he'll get comparisons to his brother. Mm-hmm. So if he has a bad fight, they'll be like, "Well, your brother don't fight like that."
Right.
So, but this weekend we have a UFC Fight Night: Vera versus Cruz.
This should be very, very interesting.
I think so too.
That fight would be. I don't know who else is on this card.
I think this is the most important fight. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
What's crazy is Dominic Cruz has only had 3 losses. That trips me out.
I don't know, but you know why? It's because he fights every 5 years.
That's true.
And then complains and then comes back. Well,
he also negotiates, if I could say it right, his own contracts.
He should, and I don't know what he's got left, but Chito Vera is doing very well, and I'm going for Vera. I haven't rooted for Dominic Cruz in a long time. I don't know.
I think
it's like he's just still around type of thing.
Dominic Cruz is now a gatekeeper.
Yes.
And because he's so injury prone, he's just going to, it's almost like he's going to write out that contract. If he gets another one, cool. But if he doesn't,
I don't think he cares. He does commentating. He's in that. But I don't know. I think the last time he lost, he blamed it on the ref. It was so annoying.
I feel like that happens a lot with fighters.
Yeah, but him, it's like, I don't even remember who he fought either. But anyway, I kind of want to see Vera win, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I do too. Especially, Cruz is ranked number 8, but Vera is consistent.
Somehow he's in the rankings.
Yeah.
It's just he's not active.
And then Ariana Lipsky is competing, which I thought we just saw her fight.
No, this was the fight card we were talking about.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it. I think we already predicted these fights, actually.
Did we?
No, we were talking about them for some reason.
No, I think this fight it had to have been moved because I feel like this was on last week's fight card. Well.
These 3 fight nights, I honestly don't keep as much track of it as the other ones. Kind of like who's fighting tomorrow type of thing.
Yeah. Angela Hill's also competing on this card, hoping to change her ways.
And now this is my favorite bout probably on here. They're both good. I just don't know. I don't know why Angela Hill gets the short end of the stick always, and it's always a decision. Look at her record.
Well, I saw it was 13-12, which I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, but all of her fights have been good. It's just when it goes to decision, no one ever picks her to win. And you're
the only person that's picked her, at least when we've done picks.
They're good fights, though. She's really, really good. She's super active. I always want to see her win ever since she was on Ultimate Fighter.
And then we also have Amanda's wife, Nina, competing, ranked number 9 versus Cynthia Calvillo, number 12.
Cynthia will get this one, I believe.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Well, also,
Nina Nunes is, every time I watch her fight, she loses. I feel like it's been that way for a long time, and her record's 10-7. That's probably why. Yeah, I don't know. Whenever she gets in there, she doesn't look motivated. She's slow. I don't know what happened to her. I noticed she wasn't the greatest to begin with, but I don't know what happened to her. And to have a wife, like someone such as Amanda Nunes, like, they're just doing other things, they're not obviously Amanda's training, but
well, here's the thing also, there's a story that ties into this, that Nina said that she's still at America Top Team. Amanda left, but she's going to stay there until her career is over.
I think her career is over.
Wow. Okay. Wow. A lot sooner than I thought, I guess.
I wouldn't be surprised if she retires really soon.
Yeah. Well, I get it. She has a lot going on, but also that's also true with fight couples that are both fighters. Have you ever noticed that? You have one that is just this top-notch talent, and the other is meh.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't ever remember Nina Ansaroff. It was her maiden name. Never, she's been around, but never anything super, super impressive.
Nothing that ever stood out.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I really wouldn't be surprised if she just retires. Like, I don't know. She does not seem into fighting anymore. When she's in there, she looks like she doesn't want to be in there.
That could very well be.
Yeah.
And that's just our brief look at this weekend's UFC Fight Night. The following week, we will not be having a show, but there is a UFC title fight. So we're going to go ahead and bring that up real quick. Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards. Usman.
Of course.
Edwards earned the ranking, but I don't feel like he's going to do it against Usman.
Isn't this their second fight? I think they've already fought before.
So.
At least I thought it was. Anyways, but yeah, I'll take Usman for sure, just because it's him, and I don't expect him to ever lose. Leon Edwards, I don't know. We'll see. He is number 2. He's he's the one
We
for.
are starting to see chinks in the armor of Usman. We've seen it in the past few fights.
He's gotten caught a couple times.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like everyone talks about, he is a great champion, yes, but it's not like it once was.
No, I think he's still pretty great.
No, I'm not saying he's not, but I've started to notice in each fight there's something like he's not always on it like he had been.
Well, he's also fighting number 1, number 2 always.
No, you're right.
And I think one of his greatest knockouts was with Jorge Masvidal. That was a crazy knockout. But also he's fought in Colby twice?
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah, he fought him twice. And he tagged him a couple times. I don't think he was in any danger, but he did get hit. Who did he fight last? I don't remember.
I don't recall offhand. I know clearly he won. He's still the champ. But I am taking him in this fight regardless. And then
but Leon Edwards is rightfully the one having this fight, though.
Oh, of course. Now, this fight kind of perplexes me. I didn't know Luke Rockhold was still
It's still early. This one might fall through. We don't know. I feel like Luke Rockhold always pulls out of fights.
I'd hope not. But yeah, I thought that was weird. I'm like, he still fights? And the thing is he's fighting against a number 6 rank Paulo Costa, which I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty. Maybe it's just a name value for Costa if he gets the win, to say he has a win over Luke Rockhold.
Yeah. I don't know how this fight came about. Luke Rockhold just kind of pops out of nowhere every once in a while, but then something always happens where he's injured, he's sick, something, and it's like we forget about him again.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have Jose Aldo competing.
Why is this not a bigger deal?
I don't know. I feel like this should be above the Paulo Costa.
Yeah, it should be, I think. But yeah, Jose Aldo, yeah, he's doing very, very, very well. We'll see what happens. I mean, he's been around forever.
He's an interesting fight.
He looks better than ever right now somehow. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Dvalishvili is always highly talked about, so this will be a good fight. I think it'll be a tough fight for both of them, so we'll see. Yeah. But I'll take Aldo, of course, because I want him to win, because I'm biased. But yeah, that'll be very interesting also.
I agree. And that's just a brief look at the following week's fight card for UFC 278 on pay-per-view. So if you want to pay that amount of money.
I wish that fight was further up on the fight card there.
It should be, but I mean, it's on the main card, so that's what matters.
Of course, yeah.
All right. We've already discussed that Nina Nunes didn't follow her wife, which I think is really weird, but
I don't really think anything bad's going on there, though. I think Amanda
I think she's just
her own place.
Yeah, I think Nina's just loyal to ATT, whereas Amanda was like, I need to go do my own thing.
I feel like Amanda Nunes probably doesn't have a whole lot of time to help out Nina Nunes. So maybe she does need her own team that can give her 100% attention to get her ready for fights, fill out her contract, while Amanda does her own thing because she's champ. So she's got to do what she's got to do, and she wants to start her own thing so she can concentrate on that. Meanwhile, Nina can get her training like she always has. Because who knows who's coaching at Amanda's place? Amanda? Yeah. Because she has to train herself as well. So I don't know. I don't know how that works with them. Who knows? But I don't think anything bad happened with Amanda at ATT. I think she just wanted to do her own thing, and everyone. Because obviously, her wife wouldn't still be there if there was a problem. So there's nothing. I think people wanted to make it a problem, but that wasn't there.
Yeah. All right. Clarissa Shields, who we are fans of, confirms her return to MMA, expects placement on the 22 PFL championships. And we talked about that she was going to step back into boxing, so this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I wonder why she even wanted to do that. Like, what was it? She bored?
Sounds like it.
Because, I mean, she has a lot to do in MMA, that's for sure, and a lot of training she should be working on. So I thought maybe she just didn't want to do MMA anymore and wanted to do boxing. Or maybe someone called her out that she was like, all right, I'll come back, because she has an attitude.
Well, she also talks about how she got her opportunity in boxing, but MMA has given her a lot. She's got endorsements, sponsorships, movie deals, just from 2 fights in MMA.
Well, she's a big deal. She was already a big deal in it.
But this just catapulted her even more, I think. Because honestly, I only heard about her through MMA and learned about her story because of her being on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, but then when you looked into it, you're like, whoa, she's
a decorated boxer.
Very. So it's always interesting to see other athletes come over to MMA just to see how they'll do. And she's gotten away with it so far. So, we'll see.
Yeah, and also she had thoughts on Cyborg, who will be boxing soon.
That's interesting.
I think it's very interesting because how will it translate? Because Cyborg's one of the greatest female MMA fighters of all time.
Well, and maybe she's bored as well because who the hell is she going to fight?
Who's she going to fight?
A challenge,
Yeah.
She needs challenges, new challenges, and I think boxing will do that for her. I don't know how that's going to go if she fights a real boxer, an experienced boxer. I don't know how she would do. We'll see.
Well, I feel like they might want to give her somebody with a little bit of experience, but not too much because this is going to be her debut in boxing. Given she's fought in MMA for so long, but it's 2 different sports.
It's different. Yeah, you can't do that.
But Clarissa Shields approves of Cyborg's venture into the boxing world. And I think
they can either fight from a boxer. Box or they could do MMA. Let's get them both fighting each other. But I don't know how heavy is Clarissa Shields. I don't think she's that heavy.
Oh, she's not. I don't know. I don't think it said, did it?
Maybe she's a 145. I don't remember.
No, it didn't say how much what she fights at. But with Cyborg competing, I think that's crazy. I actually now, because Cyborg is now getting into boxing, if she's remotely successful, I'd actually like to see a boxing match between her and Holly Holm.
That would be cool.
Just to me, it's more of a freak show fight because these are people one's just getting in, one's been in, but is in UFC. Just a thought to throw around. Maybe have it on Triller.
That would be cool to see. But also, Cyborg and Kayla Harrison have been talked about as well.
I saw that. That sign on the dotted line because I'm ready to see that fight.
Yeah.
I want that bout to take place. I think as it pertains to Chris Cyborg, I'm just such a fan of hers. To see her fight Kayla Harrison, who's been built up and developed, would be a good fight.
Yeah.
And I feel like she would offer her better competition than a lot of the people that Cyborg has been fighting in Bellator, unfortunately.
Well, people would actually tune in for this one,
That's true, too. Very true. And, of course, I would take Cyborg in that fight.
You would?
Yeah.
Really?
I think Cyborg... I think
Cyborg could get knocked out.
I think Harrison would be tough competition, but I think Cyborg would win.
I think Harrison would tear her apart.
And that's why we have these discussions. But when that fight happens, we will go more in depth about it. All right, let's see what else we got. Uriah Hall retires from MMA. And I had heard about this early on. I wasn't sure why he retired.
I don't think he said.
It didn't make it really.
He didn't say. He just said his piece and didn't say why, but he said he wouldn't be coming back. So
yeah,
that's okay. He's had a rough go. It seemed like he was, put up on a pedestal because of what he did in the Ultimate Fighter.
Because of the Ultimate Fighter, yeah.
And then stuff like that's not going to happen every single time, and everyone expected it. And then when he started losing, everyone just kind of forgot about him.
Very true. But thank you for your service of competing in the cage. Much appreciated. And then Sam Alvey. I can't believe this. This guy had lost 9 straight bouts.
He has. And that makes sense. In the UFC. Every time I watch him fight, he loses.
I don't think I've ever seen a fighter in the UFC hit that type of losing streak. and still able to compete.
Yeah, and still be
Ever.
in it. Like, I don't know. Usually Dana White cuts those guys, but
like maybe two fights at the least, but like 4 or 5 at the most.
9.
Like 9 in a row.
What kind of contract did that guy have?
I know, right? It's like, hey man, I got this jawbreaker and I got $20. Are you down? And then when you give your cuts to your manager and to your corner, you get $3.84.
Yeah.
But that's nuts. But I'd seen something online that they were joking around. Well, all right, since he's out of the UFC and has had so many losses, they're going to have him fight against one of the Paul brothers in boxing.
No. Who would watch that?
I don't know. I just think it's funny. I was like,
that is so lame. What a
like
desperate cry for money. You know, I hate that.
Well, now that Alvy's out of the UFC, do you see him going to a more regional UFC MMA promotion?
I don't see him going anywhere. Is he still going to fight?
You see him. It didn't sound like he was going to retire.
I don't know, but I don't care. 9 fights in a row. I don't care who he fights ever again. I just don't.
Here we go, right here. Jake Paul waiting for UFC to release.
That's Sam so lame. Why would I don't even think Jake Paul knows who Sam Alvey is.
But that's the thing. Jake Paul just fights people that get cut from the UFC. He doesn't fight actual boxers.
It's a good point. Good point.
And a guy who's lost that much, like he'd be like, oh, that's easy pickings.
Yeah. So that would be so lame though.
But could you see him doing bare knuckle?
Yeah.
I could too. I would hope to God he wins there.
Might not.
That's unfortunately very true.
Yeah. So
but we wish Sam the best of luck on his future endeavors. At least maybe that's the email that got sent out to the UFC when they get roster cuts. I wonder if they send out like, we wish you well on your future endeavors like a regular business would as when someone leaves.
I don't think so.
If they did, I want to see that email. That's all.
I don't know.
And then some sad news in the world of MMA and judo. Judo Gene LaBelle has passed away at the age of 89. This guy, I read his biography. I'm a huge fan of this guy. I have been for a long time when I learned about him competing early on in judo and doing basically like a godfather of MMA, doing mixed match type things in Japan and, around here. Dude was a stud. He also, as you see in the photo, was close to Ronda Rousey, who's a fellow judoka.
Mm-hmm, right.
That dude, and I knew, all right, so Gene LaBelle, I don't know what you know about him. He had a pink gi.
Oh, did he?
Because his gi got washed with something red.
Something red? Like one tiny red sock.
Right, and it became pink. And he was like, well,
hey, that happened to one of my gis.
And you know what?
Well. Hey, it happened to one of my gis accidentally washed a green hand wrap in with my brand new white gi. Came out looking camo-ish looking.
That's kind of dope, though.
It wasn't. It looked gross. And
no, it was all bad.
I got a black one after that.
See, I just got a blue gi, and so I'm glad I have that because I had the white gi, and I was always worried I was gonna screw it up or do something.
God, white gis.
Yeah.
White in general. No white clothes, dude. It's scary. Makes me nervous.
I avoid them. The only white I got is on this shirt and then my undershirt, which nobody sees.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But Gene LaBelle rocked a pink gi, and I'm sorry, you're rocking a pink gi. You're one of the most badass dudes on the planet. Yeah, this guy, he was also a stuntman. He did a lot in his career. He was a stuntman, a pro wrestler, a grappler, like just a fierce dude. And yeah, he passed away at the age of 89. Man, I'm actually really bummed. Never got a chance to meet the guy. I always wanted to, but never got the chance. And it was just sad to see that because, like I said, he's one of the godfathers of mixed martial arts. and a legit scary dude. Like, even though he's dead, his ghost scares the shit out of me. Just to be honest. All right. This weekend, if you can either watch UFC, or if you're in Central California, you can always check out 559 Fights. We've talked about them numerous times here on the show. We've had their fighters on. They do a tremendous job. Their fight cards are pretty well stacked. I mean, you get the guys. I mean, you finally had been to one. You know, it started slow in the way of you have these younger fighters that are learning. And then once you got to that main event, it was like a pro fight. Everybody was on their feet for it.
Yeah, it gets way better at three, maybe four of the ending fights are always pretty good. Like you get it's like what just happened. Like it's like we just went to different fights and now they're pros.
Yeah, those are guys that
big difference.
Those guys on the main event, the top tier of the card, should be going pro pretty quick, and that's what it seems like when you experience 559 Fights.
Yep, but it's not at where it usually is.
No, it's not at the convention center. This time it's at the ballpark in Visalia at the Rawhide Ball Club. And
interesting. Never been there. I don't know where that's at.
It's in Visalia.
Oh, I know that.
It's actually a really nice ballpark. I've been out there a few times for 559 Fights, and it's a gorgeous stadium. They do a really good job out there.
So, but it's outside though, huh?
It is outside, so the heat
boy.
Fine shade. But yeah, other than that, definitely check it out. It's a good time had by all. And then MMA Fight Pass has fights, but their fights are a little bit further out. October 15th in Bakersfield. And I don't recall the place right offhand, but as we get closer to the event, I will, of course, have more information about that. So definitely check that out. And you know what? That's all I got. Kind of just breeze through things this week.
Not as exciting of a week for...
More somber with all the people getting cut and dying.
I'm waiting for like a badass pay-per-view card, and I know we have one coming up with Kamaru Usman. It's not as stacked. I feel like that's
the only fight though that
pretty much.
And then if Paulo Costa and that Rockhold fight stays, I mean, cool.
Okay, not bad. Hey, that would be a very good fight night.
I agree.
But you can't have Kamaru Usman on a fight night. So
no. You could have Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold main eventing a fight night.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. See? Yeah. Could do that.
But,
well, whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, folks. That's going to do it for us. Thank you for joining us. We will not be around next week, but we'll be back the week after, hopefully with some guests, because we've been efforting that, and it hasn't quite worked out.
Yeah.
But we plan on having some guests to talk about their careers and, do what we do, learn about them, have fun, good times. All right. Have a good one.